I'm Brian Sparkman, and my hope through this podcast is that those of us in the Black LGBTQ plus community and others find our rightful place on life's journey. So come along to listen, to learn, and to share. Our voices, our journey. More than just letters. Coming up next.
It was just like these pumps that always kept me back at the source and kept my creativity flowing. I really didn't need to.
This has been coming for quite some time. I am super excited to have Gray Ndiaye. Is that how you pronounce it? Ndiaye? Is that right?
That is how you pronounce it. I told you that.
It's on phonics. All right. Well, welcome. It is such a genuine pleasure to have you here to talk about your poetry and the amazing stories and work and artistry that you have crafted in this amazing book. Help me through. So before we get started on that, we want to kind of ease into the interview. And typically what we do for all our guests is we have a little bit of an icebreaker, right? So it's a little bit of some fun. It's kind of rooted in the culture. It's the BLAE, I call it the BLAE, the Black Gay, the Black LGBTQ plus experience. So fun. We learn a little bit about you. Are you ready to play?
I'm so happy to be here. So I'm ready for whatever. Throw it at me on.
All right. Let's get it going. All right. Question number 1. Twizzlers or Red Vines?
Red Vines.
Question number 2. Pepsi or Coke?
Neither. But okay. If I had to choose for the sake of the game, Pepsi.
Question number 3. Caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Okay, question number 4. Nene Leakes or Kenya Moore?
Nene Leakes. I'm going to have to go with Nene.
Question number 5. Old Aunt Viv or new Aunt Viv?
Old Aunt Viv. All day. All day, Viv. Still to this day.
Question number 6. Slim Luther or Thick Luther?
I'll say Thick Luther. Luther was always, like talented and good looking, no matter the size. Thick Luther is who made all of the vibes.
Made all the hits. Question number 7. Shanae or Wanda?
I'll have to say Shanae.
Question number 8. The song The Boy Is Mine, Brandy or Monica?
Monica.
Question number 9. From Set It Off, Cleo, Frankie, Stoney, or TT?
Yeah, Cleo is whatever Cleo is, because I don't want Cleo to hear us calling her a girl and being like, no, I'm a man, because she's more man than me. So, yes, Cleo. I'm going to have to say Cleo, queen.
Question number 10. RuPaul's Drag Race or RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars?
I guess All-Stars for me.
Okay. That wasn't so bad. Now, good job. How do you feel about it? How you feeling?
This is fun. I'm sad we got to question 10 already. I'm like, you said 10. I was like, didn't we just start?
So the second question I like to ask my guests, just really to kind of create a through line and a sense of community, because I feel like we are a lot more alike than we are different. So I always try to ask my guests this question is, when did you first know that you were part of the LGBTQ plus community?
So I would say as a kid, I had an idea something was different. I don't want to say like something was off, but I'll say something was different, but I wasn't aware of it until like I stepped outside of the house. So I'll say as early as like 4.
Okay.
I kind of figured, I didn't know like, oh, I'm attracted to me. I wasn't really attracted to anybody at that age. But what I was attracted to was like Disney princesses, Barbie. Ariel from Little Mermaid was actually like one of my all-time favorite people. Like besides Barney and Michael Jackson at that age, I just loved Ariel. And so
yeah, Disney princess. I mean, she's iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just loved it because I love swimming and I love the water, and Ariel was in the water and lived there, and I thought that was so dope. Later on, I came to realize that story was messed up. She pretty much sold her people out just to be a part of the new world, and I'm like, you know, Ariel girl, you ain't have to do all that, but I still stand. So I think that's kind of when I knew. And then once I got into kindergarten, because of my mannerisms and my voice and all that, obviously people let me know, you're gay, you're a girl, you're a sissy, whatever, you know. So yeah, that's when I kind of was aware of it, but didn't know what all that meant, you know.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. We appreciate that story. It's touching. So thank you for that. So when I tell you, I felt this. I got the shades on. I felt very beatnik, this book, your book, helped me through. My God. Now I purchased this almost 3 years ago. I saw the Amazon purchase in October, almost 3 years ago. And it is many things. It is touching. It is lovely. It is steamy. It is erotic. It is so many things that this book.
I'm looking like, what?
I got water here. I was like, this interview. I got water. I'm like, this interview. I'm like, yo, it's many things. So, what was the inspiration behind Help Me Through? What was the inspiration behind this book of amazing poetry?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. I still am trying to locate this book you're talking about. As for Help Me Through by me, you know, it was honestly born out of a lot of things. As I went through college, which is where I accepted my sexuality and came out, and, you know, had 2 significant relationships that ended in heartbreak and all that. And so I wrote all this, but still was kind of just keeping it as a collection. And so fast forward to 2017, and I lost my job. So I got a job right after college. And so it was like immediately, but then layoffs happened and I was new, so first to go. And I was so distraught. Like you have no, I mean, I'm sure you can, you know, have an idea, but I was so distraught. And my mom, I was, you know, whenever I would get in my feelings, I would write, and I would share some with my mom or some with some friends. And so when I got, you know, laid off, and was going through it, my mom, you know, said, well, show me some more of your poetry. And I did. And she was like, you should make this a book. And so she gave me some money to, you know, get it done, self-publish, and then Help Me Through came out. And so it really wasn't, I say all that to say, because that's a loaded question for me. It's like, how did Help Me Through come about? It was like, it wasn't really supposed to. It was really
not at all
poetic journal.
Yeah.
You know, and so all of these things happened, and my poetry is kind of what kept me. I went crazy a couple of times, but poetry is what always kept me back at the source and kept my creativity flowing and all of that. So that's how Help Me Through came about. And it was just like, these poems have helped me through whatever situation I was facing.
So you talked about your mom being there to support, which is beautiful. We love moms supporting
love mom.
To have to create this. Which, if any, what poem resonates most with you, and why?
The first one, which would be My Secret, and that is one of the few poems that was saved from 2012. After like my iPad had crashed. That would be my favorite one, because another thing, shout out to moms, that my mom says is we're sick because of our secrets. And I was holding in a lot of secrets, and I really didn't need to. And those secrets were becoming burdens, and it was just weighing on me, as it would anybody. We all have our demons and our burdens and our secret battles, but it really was just weighing on me so much. And it was a poem that, again, from being one of the originals, was something that I would often revisit. And it still applied, but I could add to it, or, fine tune it or whatever. So I say that one. Black Man is another one.
That's
oh, is that one of your? Oh my goodness.
Bookmarks. That was what I was going to ask you about. No, continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
But yeah, well then, no, we could go into that, because Black Man is honestly one of the ones that people like the most. Like, so My Secret is very personal and everything to me. So that's why I think I love it, and that's why it's at the front of a book.
But let me just interject, if I can just interject for a second. My Secret was also incredibly powerful to me as well, because I think a lot of people tuning in, people who listening, watching, I think a lot of us can identify with, secrets kept. I mean, I know that having secrets, almost led me to one night, planning to take my life. So I think the whole idea of secrets, I think a lot of us, especially within, this is not, a narrative for every single Black person in the community. So, no messy, angry messages, but I think a lot of us, right? Please don't.
Yeah, right.
I think a lot of us can really, even though it was sort of, it was personal to you, I think a lot of us, I know for myself especially, I was able to identify with that poem as well. It was super powerful. So I'm sorry to.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. I'll say Black Man is one of my favorites because it was written at a time. Well, that's not that doesn't tell us anything, because it's still going on today. But it was written at a time where racial tensions were at their highest. I was challenged with the lack of support against, for Black men. I was challenged with the lack of love for me as a queer Black man, or, being or whatever. But I was just challenged with all that. And so that's what really made me put like my questions of faith, but knowing the resilience of being a Black man, tying those two together. So knowing that I'm challenged now, but I'm going to be okay. I can get through this, and
absolutely
not really having an answer, but knowing I'm headed north.
Or there were things my parents would kind of instill and impart and present to me that showed, our capability, that showed our humanity. And I feel like that for me was kind of that connection, being that young Black boy, young Black gay boy growing up in Chicago, to kind of see those imagery or things in general that were positive sort of reflections of black people. And so for me, that's why it was so powerful to me. So I thank you for your artistry in writing that, because it's deeply personal for me in reading that. So
specifically when a Black man comes and tells me that poem did something for him, it means the world to me. So because I wrote it for us. It's universal, but it's for us.
We feel it. Trust me. It still resonates. And I read this how many years later and kind of revisited it this week preparing for the interview, but it definitely resonates. So thank you for writing it. I'm saying a collective, we thanking you for writing it. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you. What poet inspires you? Or is there a poem that serves as an inspiration for you that when you kind of prepare?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to name a few because
please, come on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so of course, James Baldwin is my spiritual father. He never met me. He was long gone before I got here. But James Baldwin is my spiritual father. I just declare that.
Come on.
James Baldwin for sure. Toni Morrison, Octavia Butler. Maya Angelou, of course.
Of course.
She's also an Aries, so you gotta shout that out.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do not forget that. Those are some tops. Also, Lucille Clifton, Gwendolyn Brooks, Langston Hughes, and then these are a little surprising when people say, but like, who influences me? And honestly, who influences me and makes me want to better my craft is Smokey Robinson, Mariah Carey, and Jill Scott. That's because Jill Scott, of course, is a poet and a singer and an actress and so many things, but she is a poet, and I just studied her, and her music, you know, and everything just speaks to me. Smokey Robinson, I love his music to death. I love his voice. I love Smokey Robinson, but his words are so poetic. And if you just listen to a Smokey Robinson song and listen to, just take the music away, just listen to a cappella or just read the lyrics. It's poetry. And Mariah Carey, who is a songwriter as well as a phenomenal singer, but she is a songwriter. She writes many of her hits, if not all. Aside from the song she's covered, I'm guessing. But Mariah Carey, her use of synonyms is just, it's out of this world. The songs Mariah Carey wrote and the language she put in there, it pushes me to go harder. It's like, I can't just simply say I love you, because Mariah Carey will come up with a whole verse of words that I never heard before. Yeah. And I'm looking them up like in the thesaurus, like, wait, okay, what is that? And I'm like, she didn't just simply say I loved you, but she said something, you know, so poetic. So she pushes me. Mariah Carey pushes me as a poet, as a writer, to think better and not say something so basic. So yeah, words to Mariah Carey. I'm, you know, I know she watching.
Mariah, if you're watching, you're influencing Mariah a lot of people.
I know it.
On the back of your book, right, Help Me Through, there was a portion here that I was sort of curious about, and it said that, you know, in terms of your journey, you were looking to pursue freedom. And what is pursuing freedom? What does that mean for you on your journey?
I will say that it is really being authentic. Number one, that's number one for me. Two is just opening my mind, because I always talk, you know, all my life it's been, you know, I've never been really one to be judgmental. I tried for a minute, you know, thanks Christianity, you know, when I was really, really in the church. I tried for a minute and it just never felt right. But constantly opening my mind, because even recently there's still things that I've had to open my mind about, that I'm like, you could look at it a different way. And even though you may not understand something, just still respect the person, still respect the idea. Right. Exactly. And that doesn't mean that they're wrong either. So that's caused me to open up my mind and really just share that with others. So encourage other people to be liberated however they need to be liberated. Whether that is, you know, whether they're closeted, and I know that that's the different thing, but, you know, I'm always speaking to them, accept yourself. That's true liberation. It's not the coming out. It's not posting on Facebook and social media and all that. It's not the announcement. It's really the acceptance. And that's where the freedom comes from. So
spot on. I love it. I love it. Well, Gray, you got to come back.
I have to come. I will come back if you have me back. And thank you for inviting me the first time, you know.
No, this has been.
I'm doing nothing. None of us are doing anything.
It's been some years in the making, so I'm grateful that you agreed to come on and kind of share with us your words of wisdom and poetry, and I know you will enlighten and uplift through your amazing work and your spirit. So thank you again. Great.
And I want to tell you, Uncle B, thank you for the work you're doing, and you know how much of an inspiration you are to me. So thank you. And whatever I could do, even if it's just bring water to you while you record these interviews and everything, I'll do that. But thank you. And you're a true light in the world. So don't ever let anybody make you doubt that or dim it. So,
you know, I love you. You my people. That's
I love you, Mom.
Wakanda forever.
What do you see my shirt? Oh, it's kind of dark now,
oh,
but...
no, I do. Come on, Killmonger. Come on. The shirt is the mask that Michael B. Jordan's character stole from the museum. It's
that was my favorite mask too. I still want to recreate that mask for Halloween one year, but I know it's gonna take some time, and I'm kind of lazy.
Let's do it. I hope you do it. Great. Thank you again. We'll definitely have you back. We'd love to have you back.
Oh, I love to be back, and I love you.
Thank you. And folks, thank you for tuning in. Another episode of Our Voices, Our Journey, More Than Just Letters.